Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to BeoTalk number, was it 393?
Yes.
Yes. Yay.
Great.
We were just talking about the intricacies of tipping.
Man, got me a little wound up.
How it
We'll get
goes.
into that. Let's do some shilling and let's start off with that because I'm not done with talking about it.
Let's share the screen. Go to Skinny Play. Use the promo code for 10% off. Get yourself an A9 cover, a stage cover, a cover for your A9 legs. You name it. They have quite a bit of things. Covers for your shape if you want your family on your shape or something else. Use the promo code and it's already a heck of a lot cheaper, but it'll get 10% off. So that's good. What else? We have our other friends over at the Greeno Studio. Same deal. Use the link and promo code and you get 10% off. They also have covers for A9s and stuff, but they also just have aluminium for 28s, 8s, theaters, stands, and that sort of thing. Everything is 10% off if you use the promo code. So they go with that. When we have no promo code, but this is Steve, soundsheavenly.com or .co.uk if you're in Europe or in Britain and buy your cables. Or use a drop shipper if you are anywhere else in the world, but then it's on you.
Smuggle them like I did bourbon. Pay fucking $700 tax on it.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then we have our super chat method, which is www.buymeacoffee.com/BeoWilly.
Thank you, Barry, for the coffee. He already sent it before you even finished the shilling.
Wow, thank you, Barry. I will
so
monitor
much.
this. Willie will also monitor this. If you have a question and or topic that you want a guaranteed answer to, this is the way to do it.
It's dropping like it's hot.
And it keeps Willie awake because it gets boring by myself.
Dude, we've been at it for 8 years, man. We're pretty good. We're pretty good at talking about nothing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, B&O does a lot about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think B&O is essentially Seinfeld, right? It's a show about nothing. So that's
exactly
what we are. How was your week?
It was pretty dull, but it was a big push for finishing that huge building, and we did. And it was for the first time that we had 51 cameras and 49 turned on without a problem.
Oh, that's nice. Holy shit.
Yeah. Because usually it's the one that is outside, like it's a pain in the ass, 25 feet in the air. That's usually the ones that don't turn on, but everything fired up. So it was a pretty good finish of the week.
What was wrong with the ones that didn't turn on? Just cable not fully seated?
One was the cable. On my end, I fucked it up after doing like the whole day of it. When you slip in the connectors, right? Because it's the pass-through RG45. One of them went
double
skippity doodah. Yeah, it just basically flipped itself. I just didn't notice. And the place was fucking dingy, bro. Oh my god. Tomorrow I'm gonna clean the feet off my ladder. I shit you not. Sick, man. I got to run cables to the garbage room. That was not pleasant, though. I went through 2 pairs of gloves, like washing for this whole week. So yeah, but on the other hand, it was it's downtown, basically by Place des Arts, which is like a huge stage where the Jazz Fest happens. So a lot of places to go eat. And you go eat, and then it brings us full circle to the topic that we got on before we started the podcast, which is tipping. And I'm just getting sick and tired of this tipping nonsense culture where if I'm coming up to the counter and you do your job, what am I tipping you for?
Yeah. Because you're your own waiter. It's not like you perform yourself a service.
It's not like I ordered whatever A&W per se, right? Just a burger, and then I go and sit down, and you go, "Good luck looking for me," so I can pay you with the tip. Oh man. So yeah. Anyways, the tipping culture is it's getting real.
Isn't Canada like supposedly giving everybody a living wage anyway? So like, is the tipping culture just flown over from America essentially?
It started really after COVID, like hard. And here in Quebec, they actually now made a law that you have to, I don't know what it is, but you have to basically enable the tipping. It was always enabled, by default. So even if you go to fucking gas station, your tip comes up, right? Like, what is that? Fucking, what is that? So here they, and here they stopped it. So now it's only places where you can actually, with reason and logic, it makes sense to do a tip, which is still too many, right? Barbershops, you got to tip at the barbershop. You got to tip everywhere you go. You tip now.
I mean, for certain things, I semi understand it, right? But like barbershops, taxis, you're paying for the service. Like the whole point is that you, like, if you go to a barbershop, right, whatever it is, let's say it's $40, that is for the labor, like, and only the labor.
Plus fucking $10 extra, right? To thanks for doing a good job.
Why? It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but that's just the culture here, man. It's frustrating with the tipping nonsense.
Do you guys at work get tips? Because like we sold this correctly, right? You paid us for it, so now
know what? When I was working at Quebec Zone, there were a few times the dude tipped fucking heavy, man.
Yeah, but it's not few and far in between, right? Like it's not like
not at all. No. It's not like here.
Like we signed a contract. You deliver $8,000 worth of BeoLabs to my house. Therefore, I now owe you $1,600, or was it $160?
At least, yeah. Like you give me $250 in tip. I mean, that's like still low percentage, right? Because you're supposed to tip like minimum 15% apparently here. So it's insane. It's insane.
What the hell?
Yeah, literally everywhere you tip. You don't tip a bus driver, I guess. That's the only thing you don't tip. But everywhere that I think of, like when we go for lunches, everywhere tips. Everywhere.
I mean, if there is a service like waitress or waiter or whatever involved, okay, I understand. But if like I'm going to, I don't know, McDonald's or something, you don't tip at a McDonald's. Like who tips at a McDonald's? Like how is like your sandwich shop
McDonald's is weird because in McDonald's here they have those panels that you walk up to and order food like you're in Future, right?
Yeah.
And they don't have tips there, but they have donations, $1 or $2 to whatever cause and case, right? But if you go to the counter, then they'll ask you for that and the tip.
That is one of the sneakiest things they do in accounting, especially here in North America, right? Because they've already committed to the total they think they're going to get. So they're just making up what they're giving away as a company anyway. Because they're still only giving it in their own name.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, so that's not much happened, I guess. Not much happened during the week, but at the end of the day, it was a tough week. I guess we had a barbecue, which totally slowed us down on Thursday.
Well, if it was good food, it's not too bad, is it?
Oh, dude, it was like huge. What is it? The T-bone steaks or whatnot. What is it? The big meat or big bone on it. It was very good food. Very
tomahawks
good food.
Or T-bones.
Tomahawk steaks, yeah, tomahawks. Well, they had T-bones as well and burgers, whatever. But we made it with the tomahawk, so it was like fucking like good 8-10 centimeters thick. Oh yeah, they had this grill that lifted up and down from the flame. They had fucking done right, man. They had it done right.
Good stuff.
But at least it didn't put us back in at work.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing more nonsense in the bathroom. I had to reroute some water supply because the toilet is in a different place, right? So I had to tap into the vanity cold water supply.
Are you putting a power plug by the toilet?
No,
Okay.
because I don't want this whole Japanesey thing like do 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 do. Hello.
Yeah. And it doesn't detect correctly sometimes. But
I
I
mean,
gotta
it's
give it that, man. The heated seat. But again, in Florida, I guess you don't really
always
mind.
warm
Yeah,
here. If anything, I want a cooled seat.
yeah, you need the cool seat.
If anything, where you sit down, it's like ooh.
No. I'm still thinking Canada, right? Because it's you appreciate that, and you sit there. Oh yeah, buddy, it's warm.
I mean, I was God. I had so much frustration because like our house is concrete, right? And so
Mhm.
all the water lines are in the concrete, and then they just stick out. It's like okay, fine, and the concrete is semi hollow where the water lines are,
Mhm.
and there's some movement in the line. So I put it all the way back and then cut it where I need to cut it because you can always take more off, right?
Mhm.
So I cut it. Apparently, it wiggled something loose, and yoink! As soon as I cut it, the water line shot back into the wall.
Oh no.
It's like
Oh no.
I was long on purpose. Now it's gone.
How did you get it out?
Pliers, like you stick pliers in.
Yeah, just pull it out. Like
And
that
then
son of a
started
bitch.
chipping out some concrete around it. And then the only way to do it was to solder it. Like the push fittings no longer because there was nothing I could do with that, right? It would just push
Mhm.
back. It's like, God damn it. But that also meant, like with soldering, that joint you can't see because it's facing into the wall and it's essentially in the wall when you let the tension off.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was properly shit. I mean, I eventually got it to work. I also haven't soldered any like water lines in like 20 plus years. So
I have never done that. I've soldered a lot of stuff, but it's only DIN connectors, bro. I've
yeah.
never done a pipe.
And then I
Sure, I
mean,
could do it.
I got to the end, right? And you need to cap it obviously to see if it's leak proof. So I put the cap on where the toilet comes, and you have to like wrench it down because it's one of those O rings that self compresses on the to the line,
Yeah.
whatever. The fucking solder joint at that point breaks.
Oh, nice.
So the whole fucking stem comes out. And it's like, oh my god.
Oh, I would have been pissed.
I was.
I would have been pissed, man. I would have walked away from it, honestly, for at least a day. I'm like, this is.
Yeah, but the thing is that meant the water line is open, right? So I
Mm.
can't turn the water back on for the whole house.
Oh, fuck. So if the fire starts, it's going to be in the bathroom because you're burning it down.
Yes.
Holy shit. That sucks, man. So
So
you had to finish it.
yeah, I mean, I managed in the end, and it's watertight. I'm still not 100% sure how much I trust it, but it's watertight, and water comes out, and it's fine. But
I think the only thing that I would worry is like the fast opening and closing the valve, right? For that, what is it, hydrostatic hammer
yeah,
that happens, because that's bad on joints, elbows, and everything basically.
yeah. So we'll see how that goes for time. If at some point I know I
Oh
have a
no!
problem,
Oh shit!
but yeah. Oh, I hate bathrooms. I really don't like doing this shit.
Yeah, bathroom is probably the worst thing to renovate in the house. I've done a few of them when I used to do the renos, and yeah, that was the worst place. Even when you're doing a brand new build, like the developing basements, which is essentially the same scenario you got. That if you want to change the toilet location to somewhere where it makes sense based on the plan, right? You gotta be chiseling that concrete because it's a foundation.
Yeah,
So it's exactly the same shit that you're going through, except that the concrete is not 50-year-old hard or whatever it
yeah.
is in that house.
So it's yeah, it's all a bit shit. But I'm going to be tiling pretty soon, which is also unpleasant to do.
Get a lot of those little cross seasons.
Well, I hope to get semi around it because I found a tile supplier that has tiles that are oversized. So the whole back wall, they sell 48 by 48 inch tiles, meaning that is 90 centimeters by 90 centimeters.
That's gonna be fucking heavy to deal with, bro.
Sure, but it's 4 tiles and the wall is done, right? Like the back wall is done.
Fair. That's fair. But that, oh man.
Like I cut them to size, obviously, but it's like it's 4 tiles and the wall is done. Instead of like doing little tiles everywhere and all the fucking grout and
Do a little mosaic, bro. Those
no.
little, 3/4 inch or half inch tiles.
I mean, that looks good for like 2-3 years, and then it gets disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, it'll leak through the grout lines anyway, and you can't really tell until it's too late, right? Until something's rotten.
The black mold.
Yeah, so no, I don't want to do that. But yeah. Got a new AC, so we're quite a bit
Oh
poorer.
yeah, that's true too. Your AC gave up a ghost as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable that we got a decent deal, right? And to replace it was still $8,000
Mm-hmm.
because it was both the outside unit and the air handler that needed to be replaced.
The whole thing, other than the hoses, went.
I looked inside the old air handler. Holy shit, was that thing disgusting?
Oh really?
Yeah,
Like bugs and whatnot.
it almost looked like tar. Let me see.
Maybe they were just pulped over time. Because that's the fan, right?
Yeah, it's like the radiator where the refrigerant expands. So this is the outside, sort of. Let me get this a bit lower. This is the outside, right, of what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And then the inside.
Oh Jesus Christ on a cross, man! What is that?
Years of dust and cake, and it's not even mold. It looks black and it is rancid, but
It's just solidified.
yeah. And the guys replacing it said because this place used to be a rental, and they just said if it was ever a rental, that's why, because nobody ever replaces a filter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's not yours, so you don't give a shit.
Yeah, they said quite often for the rental companies and whatnot, they replace an AC, right? And next year they come around and replace the AC again because when they come back, they found out that in that year the filter has never been replaced. It's still the original one they put in.
Oopsie.
Yeah. And we're talking
Wow.
about something that would save like a $10,000 machine, right? For like $20-$30.
Right. It's preventative maintenance that is better than actual maintenance.
Yeah. I mean, the difference also is
Cheaper,
insane.
rather.
Like the amount of air coming out, right? Like I literally, like my hair is like, I don't have a lot of it, but it's like moving when I stand now.
Oh, really? So it's pushing. Well, it's clean, for God's sake.
Yeah, but just the amount of volume of air is like holy shit. Like I feel it now.
That's funny.
It's it's a thing.
So Jared posted his diagram of connections on Discord that he's got going on there, and I spent some time racking my brain around it, and fuck, I don't even know where I would start, to be honest.
I would take this out.
That's exactly my first, that's the first thing that I would have done. I would just run the BeoSound 5 Lab 5's coax directly from the BeoMaster, and then because I don't understand why that thing is there, and also I think that there's something else that travels on that signal other than the sound that is tripping the the lap 5s.
Yeah, because the main problem is, right, that the fives lose their ability or their mode selection.
That's right.
And I have a feeling that if you use a lot of this, I think he uses this not for sound purposes necessarily, right? But just
As
more
a
that,
switch.
yeah, essentially. But I don't think that pass through works necessarily 100% correctly. You're also kind of hoping
No,
that when everything else is off, that it's not putting any interference at all on that line.
exactly. I think honestly that switch is way too much busy into that, because it's a lot. Like, you have a lot of equipment there. That's for sure. Zoom in just a little bit so we have it all in the picture. Oh, that was
Yeah,
too
it
much.
only goes maximum.
Oh shit. Okay, so go further down. See, like, so he's got. See, I just don't know. Like, is the digital coax from the BeoMaster go into that switch thing? I don't think it's a good idea.
No, normally you would set it up to the main Lab 5 and then everything to the Bio Sound 5.
Yes.
But he has
Or
too many
leave them
things.
in option radio or link option 1, whatever it is, with the Lab 5s, and control the volume with them that way. But I don't think you're ever going to solve that problem unless you bypass that box. What is it? Inday or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that brand, bro. So I would just run the coax directly. But then how do you deal with all the rest of the sources, right?
Yes.
So you have
Obstacle.
See, but there's also that I don't know, like, what I would do. I would probably run it everything on. Well, you already have a Behringer there down below, right? So I would run an RCA's between in from the Behringer to the out of the input switch, and then put everything on those. So if or analog one preferably, because then whatever that in day mayday whatnot thing is, that's the DAC you're listening to, really, if it's converting to analog. But that's not the case, I don't think. So but yeah, this is very, very convoluted. And the one part that is the most convoluted off of it is that switching box, the SPDIF switcher.
I wonder,
Because
yeah, also a thing as a general question, right? Because
Mhm.
when they lose their settings,
Yes.
I take it some of this is played that isn't the BioSound 5.
Hmm.
How do you control the volume at that point? Or is the
If they're
BioSound
on,
5
if
on at the same time?
yeah, like, how do you trigger them?
And it's like, are like just two things on at the same time and this is muted? Or what's like, how do you do that?
No, I think that the way you're doing that, I guess, more or less, would be fuck. Like, what source would you turn on the BioSound 5 that the power link won't trigger? Or you trigger, I guess, you assign whatever to the SPDIF.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't, because the SPDIF just goes out on its own. It's constantly putting out. So whatever source, like if you turn on, I guess, the AUX or whatever, the power link turns on the 5s, and then the coax between the BioSound 5 and the box doesn't do anything, but it comes from other devices down that SPDIF to the speaker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's cheating it that way. But I think that there is an issue with doing it like that. Obviously there is, because we're fucking talking about it. But I think that box, like, I'm not an expert in, like, what if there is any what is that goofy data protection, that copyrights, right?
Yeah, digital DMCA.
Or DRM or whatever the heck it is that might be from the optical coming out into the SPDIF converter, right? Because it's different. It's an optical signal. So I just don't know. I honestly think that if you remove that box, run it like the BNO was meant to be ran, and then get a proper, good quality. I'm sure that by now you could get a USB output on the just like the Behringer is, and go from there. But there's no way in hell that you'll be able to solve that problem having that in-day box inside the mix. Because I understand how you're doing it, but it obviously is not optimal. And
I
the only
wonder.
way, because then the volume is controlled from the BeoSound 5 PowerLink data.
Yeah. I wonder if this is one of these cases where it's almost better to have two remotes if you want to keep it this way, right? Like, don't use the power link from the BeoSound 5 at all. Just use the coaxial and get a remote or whatever for this, and then your other remote just does volume for the 5s.
And hook up the BeoSound 5 as a line in.
Yeah.
On the speakers. And then you still have the volume control. Is there a line in? There should be a line in them. Man, I don't remember. I should go look at the.
I mean, there's two ways of, I think, fixing this. Is either get rid of the power link or get everything through the
through the BeoMaster.
Yeah. And I mean, you end up with either two remotes and everything more or less stays the same. But I have a feeling that, especially for longer listening sessions, right? If the BeoSound 5 is just on doing nothing other than volume control, it may sort of get funky a bit because it is older. Yeah, or I don't know. It maybe goes like, I don't know if I'm connected to BeoLab 5s. Like, let's forget this menu. It's just volume control. Anything can do that.
Well, I guess if you run net music or net radio off of it, and you have them set to BeoLab 5 output on the BeoSound BeoMaster 5, then I think what it does, it cuts the sound signal off of the 5s, and it just does the data, and the rest goes through the coax, through the SPDIF.
Mm-hmm.
But I never ventured that way to have it. Like, I've never come across a setup that was that demanding of well, it's convoluted, man. There's not even, it's demanding in a way to make it work right, but there is no bypassing that. You have to have the SPDIF feeding properly like the BNO was, or get another, either BeoRemote 1 or BeoFour, preferably the one with the AMEM VMEM button, so you can set it to a permanent blink mode. I think it's stop red menu 2002, and that lets you switch it to link or not. And then you can have everything go into that SPDIF box. Forget the BeoSound 5 power link. You don't need that shit no more. And then every time, I would actually put the BeoSound 5 in option 0. So you use the wheel. Well, it doesn't make any difference or any sense. No, I would leave the BeoSound 5 in option 1. So then you can listen to, with the other remote that is in non-permanent link mode, you can choose the sources but not control the volume. The volume comes from the other BeoRemote 1 that is basically IR blasters on the speakers. That's controlling it that way.
Yeah.
But for that, you would need to run a sync cable between the 5s, which you don't have. And I also think that probably is one of your issues that may cause that. I've always put a sync cable between the speakers with the SPDIF. Maybe that's the only. I would try to sync cable between the 5s before I would start dismantling the whole thing. And if it's still getting you grief, then just temporarily, not permanently, but temporarily delete that goofy ass box and all the sources coming into it, and just run the BeoSound 5 with the 5s on their own SPDIF for however long it takes to replicate the problem.
I'm looking back now. He commented last week, sync cable is not a thing on the Mark 1 BeoLab 5s, he said. Or at least not that he's aware of. I haven't looked at Mark 1 5s in forever, so I don't remember.
Yeah, hold on a second. Where would I have that? Service manuals. BeoLab 5. Okay. I'm going to post this. Let me post it. What's it called? Share. Let me share. Window.
Let me stop sharing.
So, is there a diagram of it somewhere in here, maybe? There's no connection diagram here. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
There is a
Dun,
sync
dun,
cable.
dun, dun, dun.
So, what's happening?
Countdown music until you find it.
Oh, it's not right here. Parts not shown. So that's what shows. Digital cable with ferrite black. That's the. I think that's the power link. Line cable, sync cable, and power link cable. So these should have. They all had the same connections, but nothing's been changed from Mark 1s to Mark 2s other than the socket connection went from that ICE part to a regular figure 8. And they all had that goofy ass rubber. You remember that rubber hose? Yeah. But I don't believe that I can show the actual connection panel.
I still have those rubber hoses here somewhere. I never had 5s, but I had the rubber hoses.
So there's power link, and then there's SPDIF, I believe. And there's got to be somewhere else. Let's zoom out a little bit.
Is this the regular manual or the repair manual?
This is the repair manual. I don't think that they're gonna. Yeah, this is like. Does it show? No, it does not show. Some of my fish. It's not here. No, this is not here. Okay, I'll stop. Let me see if I have back. Dude, that's so many years of collecting this stuff. I have no idea what BNO. No, that's my company.
Do you remember an old guy on Beer World called Peter Pan?
Yeah.
He always
I don't know why.
He always made these. I think he passed, but he always had these sorts of setups and things as well. This is kind of what it reminds me of.
I remember him now. Yeah.
Like
Shoot,
he had like a projector and then some 7.4 and then some random ass speakers everywhere, and it was linked through this Denon that then went through something B&O, so it all would work still on one remote. And he like always drew these whole diagrams like more or less like this.
Let's see. I got some weird music playing outside, and I'm hearing it through my headphones.
Mariachi band.
There's like a thing going on in the lobby of the building, and like the whole entrance in the park. User manuals. Let's see if my Windows will pull it up. Shit. I've had some hard drives that I could plug in, but yeah, maybe I don't fit. But yeah, Jared, I would bypass it, do it that way, because that's really it's convoluted for no real mean need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is what like the diagrams Peter Pan made.
Oh yeah.
Really fucking similar.
That does look similar.
I mean, it's also
hilarious.
like it's one of these similar. Like you have way too much going on for simplicity's sake. So, like on one rear, right, you have lap 3s and 6,000s on the same outlet. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, he's got that's daisy chaining the power links. It's still doable, but that's a pretty heavy load.
I know, but this is like I'm a hoarder and I want to use it all, sort of thing, right? Like I want to
That's
have
it.
everything on. I don't care if it matches.
Shit, there's enough standby lights in red there to light up the room in the night. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know where that BeoLab 5. We can look one up, I guess. BeoLab 5 user.
I mean, even I just was looking on Google, right? And even the Peter Pan, whatever diagram, this is about fives. There's the synchro mini jack cable. He puts that for anything SPDIF coaxial.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I don't know, from a few years ago. See Peter Pan.
Yeah, no, I remember us doing that all the time. That we would put the sync cable between.
So somewhere in the box or somewhere on the back of the speaker, and I forget where, there's a mini jack connector that goes from one to the other side.
Okay, let's. I can share this now. I think I found it. Let's share. This is from the BNO itself. No, that's the wrong window. Wrong window sharing the. Fuck. This one. So left and right digital. So there's your in and out for SPDIF. There's your sync cable, which is behind the rubber cover of the microphone leads, which is also the synchronized connections hidden beneath the small cover to access. Just pry the cover off. And that is also what I plug into per se when I'm doing the software updates or anything readouts. That's also the service connection. So you unplug the sync, you plug in your service tool in there and go from there. But there is a SIG. I know for a fact, man, that didn't change. Socket for connection with two BeoLab speakers, BeoLab 5 speakers in a setup used when connected to non-Bang & Olufsen systems only. The connection ensures that both speakers always play at the same volume level. Supply plug and main chorus, blah, blah. That's it. So maybe the problem is that it's balanced or unbalanced. I don't know, whichever one is the opposite of it. Phono socket, RCA socket used for connection to a system with a digital output SPDIF unbalanced. Digital connections carry both the right and the left channels. So there you have it. The sync cable. If you're gonna run it without what's it called? In a non-BNO setup way, then put the sync cable in between it, because I think that box requires it, and I think that's what the problem is, that they just they lose. I don't know. I honestly don't know if it or if it carries channels different way that the speaker is expecting it. So I would honestly try it first from the BeoMaster 5 directly into the speaker 1, and then from there.
Yeah, just as is, because if nothing changes in a week, then there's
it's
something going strangely.
It could be something fucked up on the input board on your speaker as well, but you'll never know that till you actually try it the way I'm recommending you to try it.
Yeah. This off. And if so, that's going to suck, but at least for now, it's still repairable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be more expensive if you wait 2 years to find that out.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's already gotten goofy because they, doubled or almost tripled the price of the chassis now?
Yeah. But it's still somewhat worth it, right? Especially if you love 5s. I mean, it's still not like it's not even remotely comparable to like, oh, trade in plus this cost and I get a set of 50s if I pay 15 more. Like, no, you're not even remotely close to that. Like, it's more like, at least in Europe and North America, it's sort of like you're at maybe and probably still less than the price of 28s.
Yeah.
I mean, 28s will be more expensive. They sound similar, but like they just can't match 5s in terms of power. Like, no way.
No. So,
I mean, I don't know many people with 5s that buy them for reasonable listening levels, right? Like,
there are
you
room
do,
fillers now, more or less than anything. I find people that buy them here, they just play, but not crazy.
I tried to wire 4 BLAB 5s digitally with sync cable, and 2 of them were with delay. Not a good idea. Yeah, you get massive echo.
That won't work. Yeah.
God, how would you do? Yeah, that's it's a problem of the speaker of the time, right? At the time, the BLAB 5 was extremely high tech, but
Oh, hell
also,
yeah.
I mean, the best you could get at the time of launch was what, 480i video.
It was basically built around the 9000. That's where
Yeah.
that SPDIF purposely comes out from, not an optical input, because this had an SPDIF out and the power link with data, which
Yeah.
back then data would also, that's how pentas show you the volume display and source display, because that's data that's coming off of either this or anything BeoCenter 9000, or let's just roll down the memory lane till, since the master control link was invented. But the BeoLab 5s were solely more or less built for purpose with the BeoSound 9000.
Yeah.
And if you had it in the BeoSystem 3 scenario, which was the top of the line processor or video engine at the time, then you lose the SPDIF connection from the 9000, because it has to go through the left and right front speakers off of the BeoMaster 5. And in BeoMaster 5, there was no setting to set up digital connection output from BeoMaster 5 into the everything. That was the only 2 outputs from what I can remember, if you don't count the POCs, that, flashers, are 2 video ports and the headphone jack.
I mean, I just look back, right? Like, Steve founded Sounds Heavenly in 2004. I remember back in those days how hard it was to get cables that would work with B&O from a non-B&O place. It was essentially only people that were affiliated and or dealers of B&O where you could buy PowerLink cables.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we sometimes forget how much of a closed garden system B&O was at the time.
It was damn near impossible to integrate with, right? Like, people hated it. People hated it as integrators, because there was only, and there was not like nowadays when you have all these Internet of Things and shit and drivers, and you can Home Assistant and this assistant and Googlies and Alexas and all that nonsense. Back then, it was if you want to play ball, you got to go with Crestron. Expensive as fuck.
Well, even for the BeoLabs, right? Like,
or Lutron.
Like, not a lot of dealers were electricians, right? So they barely knew how a pinout functioned. So, like, getting custom cables was like, what do you mean custom cables, right? They are cables. These are the cables. You get them at a B&O store.
Yeah. The only custom cables that were ever made that I remember was from Brad in Surrey, or Vancouver rather, where, like, he's been a B&O repair technician for 45 something years.
Sure, but like in 2004, not everybody had a website, so like even.
Oh, no! Like, you knew about him from within the B&O circles, right? Because we knew him as a service technician. So if that was a peculiar installation per se that needed specific made fucking cables for, he would be the one that would make them and send them over to Calgary from Vancouver, and that was that. I think the
Yeah.
worst one, which I never had the pleasure or displeasure or honor, whichever one you want to call it, to splice, is the BeoCenter 2 cables with that big splice box that it came with. Because there's 32 wires inside that little
I
cable.
thought it was 52.
Oh, fuck, it's even worse. So, yeah, that was not fun at all. But I've never had to do that.
Mine was spliced. That's how the only reason I know.
That's how you know.
The guy I got the BeoCenter 2 from, he had it installed, and at some point they had put the cable through the wall because but it was a stone wall, right? It wasn't drywall.
Oh, so you had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and with removing, they just sort of went yank.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, and they had it labeled like this was an upsell, right? It's labeled. It's like, dude, I can't solder this much shit. Like, this is insane, right? Because you have to put heat shield and blah, blah. So I got some money off, and okay, fine, whatever. So I went to my dealers, like, are you good at soldering? He said, yeah. What do you have in mind? It's like, this.
I'd be like,
and he's like,
asshole.
Oh my God. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that would suck bollocks, man. I'm trying to find how many pins were on it, but I can't see it anywhere in the manual here. Going through the yesteryears of time once again. But yeah, that cable was a devil's wire for sure. For sure. I can't find it. Anyways, doesn't matter. Old catalog and library of all the old books that I think now are almost damn near impossible to find. Unless you know the article number from BNO again, and that's within their own environment.
Yeah, Steve probably has them all, but I would suspect he guards them a bit because it's his livelihood for the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of that stuff is like board repairs and such, right? In the service manuals, which I don't think he really gets into. But the wires and pinouts, I don't think that really matters, because at the end of the day, like, everybody kind of sort of knows or can find out what the pinouts are, but the quality of that cable is a different story.
Yeah, but I've spoken to other like third-party repair guys, right? And they essentially they all do it, and they all say it, because like I know a guy who makes transport nubs for BeoSound 9000s, right? That keep the glass in place.
Mm-hmm.
3D prints them. And he says the amount of emails I get where people just say, just send me the file, print them myself. And
no piss off.
Yeah, like, just give it to me for free, essentially, right? I'll print it myself. It's like, what the fuck? Fuck you.
Well, yeah, because if you give them or even if you sold them the file, then they can just give it to somebody else, right? Yeah. Or they can resell it as well. So no.
Yeah, or you're just funding your competitor.
Yeah, no, you can order it and piss off. That's it.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, no, that's not fair. Definitely not fair.
I mean, for the same reason, I fully understand when people go, Steve, why does this cable not work? If it's not this cable, like, why spend time on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can buy a new one that's tested.
And know you, that know what works.
Brand X, I don't know. You're not, like, this is time I could be actually making money on something else, right?
Not troubleshooting. What is it? The Alibaba, I guess.
Yeah.
In Europe. Yeah. That's Alibaba cables.
I mean, Steve puts enough free info out there.
Oh yeah. Well, we all contribute in a way.
Oh yeah, but like,
keeps us around.
There's a difference between like hobby me and work you and or Steve, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely true. So.
It's yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, people need to eat. So
we have a level in our
I mostly put it because title. You keep on raving on about the level.
It's good, man. I had a bath yesterday. I listened to it for a few hours. Well, not a few hours. 45 minutes. Only thing that kind of bugs me is where I have it situated, right?
Yeah.
The fucking colognes start to dance off the shelf, but they can't fall because there's like a little lip. But they all move like very ominously forward, like just looking over the sink to jump type of thing. But I wish that they came up with a walnut cover. But for now, I'm okay with it because the
They
oak
did.
really works. But is it? I don't. I've never seen it being able to order. Maybe I'll take
It's
another look.
custom. Yeah, it's the bespoke.
Oh,
I saw it in
but
London in their flagship store.
mm,
And God, this was now 2 years ago, but at the time, I think a regular cover was what, €150 or something,
yeah.
and then the walnut one was like 3 or 350.
Oh, so significant, but not as bad as it could have
Yeah.
been.
Well, essentially, they make them in like batches of 2 to 5.
Oh, the level covers.
Yeah, like well, the bespoke ones, right? Like
Mhm.
it's literally not that many. It's I wouldn't be surprised if they wait for you and somebody else to order, like one other person to order it.
To make it happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind toying with the idea of two emerges in, but that's a song of a very far future because the Avant still works. But I would do that once that goes. I'll put the Premiere with just. I wish I could buy another black emerge. I know it looks like a fucking router, but if I could get the bespoke or I guess bespoke panels on it from walnuts, that'd be sick. Black on walnut. Yeah.
Jose Miguel Pinharanda. I think that sounds like you're Brazilian or something like that, but. I'm thinking about to buy a theater and then associate two B-Lab 8s at front speakers and an A9 or balance as rears. I know different speakers but have similar sound profile.
Don't go with the A9s.
They're good, but not
They're
as
not
good
for
as a
that.
point speaker.
Yeah, they're not. They're not meant for that. It's a stereo speaker from a singular source, and I've tried it in when I was still working with Quebec on when we did pair, not to the theater, but we just stereo pair the A9s, right, to compare. They will destroy 28s when it comes to just only the bass response. When it comes to the clarity of the imaging, there is nothing. It's not that it's worse than acoustic lens, but in a way it is because it also has a backfiring drivers. So that sounds fucking going all over the place, man. It sounds good on its own, not the best. I think that's the last product that I would do as a stereo pair. I would rather stereo pair two BeoSound 2s or two levels, which they sound great actually. Two levels together sound like a pair of 4000s in bass response, which was amazing for the time.
But even with the levels, it depends very much on how they're positioned. Because if they're positioned like this, they're better than sideways.
Yes, no. When we did the levels on the wall brackets stereo pair, those sounded fantastic. But I wouldn't toy with the idea of two A9s. Balance is okay, but if I were you, I would go with nothing in the rear and then buy a pair of Lab 8s later when you have a budget for it. I don't know if you do or not, or just toying with the idea. But if you're doing A9 as a pair of A9s, that's what 5Gs US, 4,500 US each. So you are at the Bio Lab 8 stage. So you might as well just get two pairs of Lab 8s, man, and call it a day. I wouldn't really try to invent a rounder wheel that it already is.
Yeah, let me see real quick. Two balances aren't even that much cheaper than A8s or than B-Lab 8s.
Set of 8s, yeah.
because it's 3,650.
Say you go on the cheap side and you just get the clocks instead of the wood grills for the lab 8s for now, and then hit up the Greeno and get the aluminium ones instead.
So it's 7,300 for 2 8s. For 2 balances, and it's 7,900 for 2 8s.
$600, man.
I mean, if you still need to buy everything, right? I bet you if you buy it all at once, you get a decent discount to where it makes no difference at all.
I would think so. Maybe you're gonna wiggle
I'm not
room
saying
on the
you're going to get
stands or table
50%
stands.
off, but you probably get 5 to 10% off if you do this as a full
Package deal.
Get me a theater with 2 sets of 8s, right? I mean, honestly, if you really want to save some money, depending on which country you're in, right? Like, have a look at 17s or look at them on eBay.
Yeah, but I would still, if you already have the theater in your head, man, 2 pairs of 8s with it, you will never look back. Other than maybe later on in life, you buy a 19. And even if at that case, I would put it in the back of the theater instead of beside the theater.
The thing is, I already have a balance, an 8, 9, and a pair of 8s. We'll get a theater and another pair of 8s. Easier said than done, but
I know.
I mean, talk to your dealer. That's honestly what I would do. See what's possible, because clearly you're a good customer. You spent a fair amount of money with them already.
Exactly.
Like, hey, I know the price is the price, but can we do something about it? Because, I mean, it tends to be more rigid right here in the US, but even in the US, it's not that rigid. Like,
No.
it's not as flexible as Europe, but that is partially B&O headquarters and that sort of thing, right? Where the margins here are just lower. Like, and that's kind of what's crazy to me, because somehow for B&O HQ to sell to dealers in the US, they make more than they do to dealers in Europe, which is mental. But
yeah, I would honestly play with the idea of doing that, because if you're gonna get another balance, right, then you're presenting yourself with a problem that needs a very peculiar solution, and that is, what are you gonna put that fucking thing on?
yeah,
Are you gonna get pedestals? That looks way too beefy, or are you gonna have them on a counter somewhere, so then they're not in an optimum surround position per se? Like, it's a toss up where if you have the 8s, damn it, buy the floor stands and you're laughing, or wall brackets, whichever, right? They can point towards, and
I love 8s on wall brackets. They're
slick,
they're really fucking good.
and they sound great from the wall.
Yeah. I mean, so far, you've made good choices. I like a balance. I love an A9 and I love 8s. So
yeah. But if you're doing, I don't know, I would talk to the dealer and see if, or maybe consider trading one in. I don't know how much you would get for it, if anything, that is feasible to do that. It depends on how long. Let's say you bought the balance. If you bought it when it first came out,
yeah,
then you basically, your trade-in is almost on par with what you had spent back in the yesteryears for it, if it's in a mint condition and you have the box. But what do you think about doing the shape speakers as ceiling speakers?
The amplifier cannot be on the ceiling because it'll cook itself.
Yes.
So in essence, it's a good idea, but you have to take into account that the amplifier has to be somewhere like upright, wherever, right? Within, 12 meters or something?
Or if you have a cabinet, then you can put it in the cabinet, but run a fan above it. 100%. 100% run a fan above it, because they do get hot. But you would need to run the wires onto the ceiling.
Honestly, for the money, right? This is where BeoLab 17 shine.
Yes.
Because they have brackets.
And ease of installation too.
Yeah, and you just put them on the wall, right? Like as high up as you can and angle them down. That's what I did, and it sounds fucking fantastic.
17s do sound great.
I mean,
I
also
do
you
agree.
just use WISA because at some point you're going to run out of DPL connections anyway. So use WISA. It's just a power cable at that point.
Hmm.
I mean, the only
Yeah,
thing I
those
would
are
say is
not gonna make any difference acoustically when you're power link them or WISA.
no.
There's just not much that you can tell.
The only thing is lock your router to a set channel for
Hmm.
the 2 and 5 gigahertz channels. But you need, like, if you want to get similar output of even a pair of 17s, you need to buy a decent shape, right? To the point where that shape is like $7,000 or so.
Well, you need
You need
1
4
amp and 4
drivers
speakers. Yeah.
at least, yeah. And but the thing is, if 17s are universal power supplies, so they work anywhere in the world. You can get them from anywhere. Like in Europe, like in the Netherlands, I think a set is somewhere between €1,300 and €1,800 on average.
Mm,
Like you don't have any shape for that. You have a few tiles.
pretty much. But then again, it looks fucking sweet. The shape looks good. I'll
Sure.
want to read it out.
I know the theater is very capable, but in tests I carried out, I felt the atmosphere and sound coming from the ceiling were worse with the theater than with the premiere. It's a lot of that is set up, and you have to tinker a lot more with the theater. I personally feel. Also, it's don't forget that it's not B&O doesn't actually use reflective sound, right? They more so aim it towards sort of above your head and the
Well, it's
level.
beamforming, yeah.
And,
But it's also the virtual drivers, if you enable them, right, on the theater. It doesn't mean that it's the side firing drivers. It's just the stereo speakers that are doing this binaural whatever nonsense calculations in them, and you have to be in a sweet spot for it. Then you'll have the same effect as, let's say, the Premiere has, which you also have to be in a sweet spot for it. But
Yeah.
Premiere is differently designed than what the theater is. Theater is a capable soundbar on its own, yes, in a smaller room, but it does need speakers. It does need stuff around it in order to make that proper acoustic image,
I
regardless of what.
also feel with you can play with the sliders, but first I would just have a dB meter on your phone, right, and check if because I've always found that whenever I use the theater by itself, which isn't often, but if you like let the microphone do its thing, right, like the upfiring drivers tend to be quite quiet. How B&O sets them up. So I would bump that the upfiring drivers by 2, sometimes even 4 dB, depending a bit on your room and that sort of thing.
I bump my my drivers hard when let's go all apps. I'm gonna open my B&O. Let's go there. Loading app. Okay, do it. It's doing it. My router Vincent is an asshole lately, dude. He's not, like, I have to basically turn off my Wi-Fi in order to log into DTools, which is my to report my hours and whatever. Okay, but this time Vincent has allowed us to share this with the class, so I appreciate that. So let's just go to kitchen, edit, and then speaker levels. See, like, I have them choked down. This is more or less, but it really doesn't matter because this is a kitchen preset. But
Yeah.
you see how they are by default with the microphone at -5 dBs. If we go to surround, which is going to fire up the 90s now and everything else. Maybe not.
Yeah, nothing's playing.
Nothing's, but they do tend to turn on when I start doing this. What the fuck just happened?
Vincent happened.
Vincent is a fucking communist bastard. Communist bastard Vincent. Look at him. Just lagging my shit to make me look stupid like a boomer over here. Level. Call this. Fuck. How are these down? They shouldn't have been this down.
Yeah, but you probably retuned it at some point and forgot about it.
I didn't touch it for dude like a long time, so maybe I do need to plug in the microphone because it does sound poopy now since so many software updates have been done on it. Shiitake mushrooms, bro.
Yeah, the funny thing is, right, when you put any other speaker, like I have, like a 17, in the same exact role, they don't turn them down as much. Like, not even remotely. Like, it's down 1 dB instead of like 4.5 to 5.
Yeah, I know. There's some funkies going on up in here, bro. Shiitake mushrooms. What was I gonna look for? Oh no, it's not here. Yeah, exactly.
Busted says his upfiring drivers also snap back to default settings. Interesting. So it's maybe not just you.
I swear to you, I didn't have him at minus something, whatever, man. Like I had him at +4. Ah, fuck! Now I turned on the 90s, son of a bastard.
Oh no!
Oh,
Whatever
no.
will you do?
Shut him down. They're starting to get ready for nothing. But yeah, so that's all the positions I have. The white stereo with no room compensation actually sounds pretty good, but now I'm really going to freaking look into these. Let's see the levels. Okay, that should be at 0 and 0. What's the distance? Okay.
I bet you if you retake that one, right, it'll be at -2 and -2.
Yeah, the 90s always come -2, -2. Why? I don't know.
Like we're redirecting base away because of what and why? Like,
so if I create a duplicate, does it? No, it used to do that it would reset the levels. Okay, go away. What in the heck is that, man? Go away. Up. Son of a homeless bastard. Okay, so now I want to actually just go and delete that. Poof. I need to first choose this, then that. Where is my no? Is there more? Ooh. Ah! It's so hard to do it with the mouse, bro. Okay, I do have it here. I just want to make sure that I don't delete something that. Okay, go away. Poof. It's a little too convoluted nowadays, how this whole thing works. And I still don't like that if I go to, let's say, albums or whatever, I think they go right through. Yeah, they go right through this. But when you start playing them, that sometimes there's a button here that you can't really do anything with. But anyways, let's shut this down. So yeah, that's the... So yeah, I'm super suspicious now about this nonsense. Fuck, I need to retune my goddamn theater now. Call this, man. Why would it do that? Why would it reset itself back? I wonder on what software firmware update version is it done it's on its own? That's some nonsense, bro. That is some nonsense.
I forgot to take a picture. Busted ass.
Because I thank you for the coffee, much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, Jose. Busted ass. Have my 18 sides around under my 17s made a big difference? No, big no, some a little, mainly because I now have 50s, 1850s, right? And then front height 17s. These 17s and the rear 17s are now both height surround. So I have four speakers in the same roll, like left height or right height surround and left height surround.
Both of them.
That actually makes a bigger difference than the 18s where they currently are. If anybody were to ever ask me, like, I don't have them, should I add them to this setup that I had before? No, it makes like
Find another room.
it's not sensible, right? In any sense. If anything, the 18s are almost more aesthetically there. I mean, it fills it in at the tiniest bit, partially because of the acoustic lens, but with 50s front and rear, that
The
stereo
imaging
imaging was
superb.
already so fair, so far ahead of you, like both coming from the front and the back, that
Switzerland, right on.
and Portuguese. I thought so. I mean,
I like y'all's
I said
watches and
Brazilian,
cheese.
but
Very close.
cheese with the holes in it.
That's it. I like the pre-hold one.
But I think on our Discord. Oh yeah, come join our Discord if you haven't yet already.
Yeah, do that.
Shill that. Somebody on our Discord, I think, works at one of the dealers, so they may have trade-ins if you're looking for 17s or something like that. Befriend a local. Okay, but the height's placed not above, but the side and back is good, right? If you're referring to my setup, yeah, absolutely. Because
theater does most of the magic anyways when it comes to where it places the sound.
Well, the front heights are like literally above the front 50s, right? And
Yes.
they're pointed more or less, they're angled in a bit. Then I, at like, what is it? Like 95 to 100 degrees of where the couch sits is the first set of 17s on the ceiling, and then also above the 50s behind. So that whole area, and they're in the same role, right? So they fire together. It's very filling.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it? Is it super noticeable? No. I mean, it was already pretty epic. Like that didn't change. It hasn't become epicer, so to say.
More epic.
I mean,
Epic.
I think it looks a bit better, but it's partially because the 18s are just pretty.
I agree. I think that where you at right now, dude, like there is not much that they can add into the mix, really, like realistically.
I look, I really like 90s, right? And they are more powerful and all that than 50s, but I don't mean will add some, but I'm not sure that's worth it, especially at today's prices.
No.
I mean, if I were to, let's say, trade in a set of 50s and get a new set of 90s, I'm going to be paying what? Like in
That's
the US?
why I don't have the height speakers for, because there's le concrete, le
Rented.
béton. So yeah, that's
And
the
it's
only reason
rented.
why. And it's rented, so yeah, I'm not committing to this at all when it comes to putting it where it is. And I don't spend honestly much time in front of the 90s. They kind of, when they play, it's a house cleaning day, so they cover quite a bit. And when I'm doing shit around here, but I don't have much time to sit in this chair, quite unfortunately. I did yesterday, had a cigar and watched some shit, but yeah, I don't. It's almost a shame. I don't, but you know, I've had him for 10 years. Like I've heard him play everything that I ever wanted to play, right? Especially during the freaking lockdowns, because that was the best time ever to put some hours on the 9000 and go through my entire CD collection. But new music, yeah, it's fun. But to be honest with you, because of the fucking neighbors as well, I really resort to Bio Grace the most now because they sound just as good as these, but in your head, on your head. not also with your neighbor.
Where are you?
What are you looking for?
Switzerland. Oh, there. Let's do English Switzerland.
How much is what? How many Swiss francs? Excuse me.
Decline. Oh. I mean, so 8,000 Swiss francs when they're new 10,000. I think that's a good deal. That's what, 15% off? Almost 20.
But are they? What's it called? Is it same cloth, or are you talking wood? Because with wood for 8 grand, that's definitely worth it.
Well, even cloth, right? That's 20% off.
Hmm.
I think that's.
Oh,
a
if you're
good price.
talking used, yeah, it's not that far up, but
Well, even if it's Ec Demo, right? 20%
Yeah.
off is pretty
it's a good
nice.
deal.
Like if the new price is this, and if it comes directly from the dealer, right? Like they're not
Warranty's
really
there.
making money anymore if that is the price they're giving you.
Yeah, but if it's a demo, then you know that product already earned its keep in the shop because it sold how many units based off of it being a demo.
Sure, but he only has one or two, right? Like somebody else will pick it up for that price.
Hmm.
Sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I remember when Calgary store was still in operation. This is years and years ago now. How people, like they would buy stuff, but they would also start calling in December to put a deposit down on a store demo sale item that started like at the end of January. I think we had the demo sale, right? To
Yeah.
kind of bring people in throughout the slowest month of the year. I think it was mid-January when it started. So yeah, and then people came in and we basically rotated the entire showroom and ordered new stuff, and now we had same showroom but new stuff, maybe different color on the TV sometimes and whatever else. They are absolute masterpieces, Jose. I'm glad that you like them just as much as I do. The Bio Grace is honestly like if I think they're the best earbuds that I had ever had a chance to listen to, bar none. Fuck the battery, whatever. Yes, it 4.5 hours I get out of them still, but usually on the phone they take a little more. I don't know why. I guess there's a lot more communication going back and forth
Well, there's
versus
also
just
a microphone
music.
on.
Well, the microphones are on all the time, anyways. When you have the noise canceling, because I have it with noise canceling all the
Yeah, but
time.
it's
It's a different loop, I guess.
yeah. Also, it's amplifying, right? Like
Yeah.
it's much more
So
passive when it's like noise canceling.
so yeah, I definitely like him a lot. I'm definitely like him a lot.
Yeah, to finish my earlier thought, if I get 90s, let's say I trade in a pair of 50s, right? Like in the US, the only place you can get them is new, essentially. So let's say I even get, let's say the dealer is like, essentially new price, like we'll trade in 60 grand USD off a new price of 90s, right? I'm
Mhm.
still have to pay 150,000 for as a difference. Like, holy shit. Like, and will that improve my sound system by 150 grand? Not even remotely close. It's I very much like 90s, but if I ever get them, they're going to be secondhand because it makes no sense at the moment
No, not
with what
anymore.
I have to go to any of it.
Sorry, I'm staring at the phone. I'm trying to help Nick. He's at the house that we did 10 years ago. They sold it, and he's just trying to get Ubiquity reset. And this was done so long ago that the API didn't really exist on the internet. Like the
Yeah.
cloud wasn't really set up. And the computer that we've done it on is my old first generation Windows tablet, whatever I think it was. And it's dead. So therefore, I hope he's not fucked. But I think the only thing he's going to have to do is factory reset all of it and reestablish it back again. But I just sent him the code for activating it to see if that's. No, I think it's good. I think he's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I am quite glad. I mean, I could have bought 90s back in the day, right? But since I always knew that I was going to move over a fucking ocean, I am kind of happy that I didn't have to,
Shit, imagine if they fucking were like on the side.
like what they did with the 50s. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been feels bad because I don't know if that would have but I guess they couldn't really do that with the pallet.
I had pallets under mine. They took the pallet off and laid it
Fuck,
flat anyway.
That's true.
Because they measured apparently and figured out if we take the pallet off, right, we can lay them flat in the back of the bed of the truck, and then we can stack shit on it. Like it's more space efficient.
Wow.
It's like, whoa, man.
Yeah, but the 50s at least they got the proper surrounds of what's it called? Of styrofoam around them.
Well, also the chassis is one piece, right? It's not attached like the with the 90s, right, where the mid-range drivers and tweeters sit. That is a separate piece that is like bolted together. Like, let's say you were strong enough between the two of us, right, that we could carry the 90s just by hand. If you tipped it over and I held just by the tweeter bit, right, it's gonna fucking break.
Oh yeah.
So it's yeah. And the 50s are like a unibody chassis. So like there is no separate piece other than the metal they put on it, right?
The best place to carry them more or less is through those holes where the hook is for. But if you have two, I think half-inch conduit pipes that I would put like Tessa tape on so you can slide them through, not scratch anything, then you can pick them up like basically like a gurney. 90s are a little bit of a process.
Yeah.
There is nowhere to you have to have those bullhorns mounted on the top of the main chassis because yeah, you're gonna break that head off with all the drivers and cables and shit in it. It is tough. I'll give it that. Like it is a 1 centimeter thick, whatever they used for the plastic that they're using inside it. But I guess the weakest point is the connection where that whole hinge heads or that whole head hinges out, so it's able to be serviced, and that doesn't. I don't think you could rest it on and just hold them, carry them. No way, no fucking way.
Yeah, and I mean 50s don't have that. I think that's kind of what saved them. I'm just really happy that the internals are built in such a way that like the boards didn't start flying around in the speed because that was my main fear. Or that
no,
the
they're
lens
solid.
Started
Jiggle. Yeah. That I would have been worried more than the electronics inside because that's not moving. But the lens, that's that would have been a little bit of a.
Yeah, well, not moving, right? It went on a boat from Amsterdam to New York, and then on a fucking in a truck from New York to here. Like New York roads are like your roads in Quebec.
Probably, yeah.
Like the roads don't get good until you're like in South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm glad that I haven't had a chance to like go down. Not that I'm glad, but I haven't had a chance to go down because when I went from Calgary, I went down through Montana and basically diagonally across the entire state, and all the roads were good back then. It's still I came to Montreal, I realized, holy cow, man! Like, I'm after 2 years of living here, I had to change my shocks.
Yeah,
finished.
I mean, the Northeast, right, is quite shit. The Midwest is a bit as well. It's not as bad on the highways, but drive around Chicago or something, suburbs, right? Like weirdly, downtown Chicago, it's okay, but it's probably because there is still some money and you can't go fast, right? So, like, I mean, if you're going fast in Chicago, you're doing like 30 kilometers an hour. So there's never
same here. Yeah, that's
even if you
30,
brake
40.
hard, right? Like it's like
no, it's not. It's
not screeching. It's nothing. But as soon as you're out of downtown, like holy pothole dodging.
No, here it's a disaster. Jose, have you tried listen to the Beo Grace through the case itself. Let me know what you think of that. But I've done it with the title. The only problem I come across, it doesn't do the Dolby, and you can't modify or change the listening from the virtualized to Dolby to normal or optimal. It's just optimal. It's just regular earbuds, but they are very, very, very clean sounding through the case, and it does change the quality output also from the phone. It shows actually 40, like, cause it on my title it always says compressed because of Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't do that when you hook up the USB-C to the case and to the phone. Mind you, also the case will take phone's battery, so I would recommend having the case charged when you're going to listen to it or through it, because it'll suck your phone down a bit.
Yeah, at some point we're going to need to figure that out in software where you can turn that off, where like I don't want to charge something that is connected to it that has a battery.
I wonder if there's a possibility to do it in the Samsung settings themselves.
Maybe, but it's the same for iPhone. Haven't yet come across it. But if you put like dead H100s on it, right, with the cable,
Yeah.
like it starts charging from your phone.
USB-C. Let's see. Connected devices. I don't know. Oh, for wireless fast charging with its what? Show the blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, I
No,
forget that
it's not.
with your Samsung phones you can lay them on top of one another and charge another phone.
Yeah. I have that too.
I
Busted,
mean,
thank you for the coffee, man. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I don't know where that thing is, but that's one thing that it sucks, because when you plug them in, they start charging from the phone. So if your phone sucks battery or sucks on battery, and you try to do that, you're gonna kill the phone immediately. But they do sound great, man. I am going to visit Calgary and Edmonton, where I'll get into the details of what I'll be doing there. Maybe once I come back with some good pictures. But it is I wouldn't say an incognito job, but it's a job for BNO directly. So I'll report
sweet.
back. But I'm also looking forward to bringing some bourbon back, and also looking forward to listening to my Beo Grace on the way in the airplane. So connect directly, or I'm going through a direct flight, because now what's going on in fucking Toronto Pearson International Airport apparently is that they take your luggage tag off, and they put your luggage tag with your name on a different luggage suitcase that has narcotics and drugs in it. So there has been, I think, 18 cases now that have been reported that people got caught without having a fucking clue that they were smuggling drugs into the other countries. And so therefore, like, I made a hard stipulation that if I'm going to Calgary, there's no way I'm flying through Pearson International with all my tools. I'm gonna come home with a fucking Swiss Army knife that I had that didn't get found in my carry-on, because that's I'm not risking it. Coffee lasted almost the whole podcast.
Speaking of not being around, I'm pretty sure the 12th of July I will also not be around.
So I won't be around on 28th of June. So we got 2 more podcasts to go, and then I'm not that I'm taking a break, but I'm flying back from Calgary at noon, 4 minutes after noon, which is 4 minutes after 2:00 in Montreal, which is I'm already 4 minutes late for the podcast, so that ain't gonna fly.
Yeah,
and
so then we'll do the 5th and not the 12th, because I'll be in Wisconsin.
Wooden, Wisconsin. Okay. So that's
and I don't know how long that trip is going to be, because family reasons. So from Wisconsin, I may be going to another state that is not adjacent to Wisconsin to then go back to Wisconsin to then come back again. So I'll have to update you guys, and this is why I need to join the Discord, because sometimes I forget to put this stuff on YouTube.
JG says a portable question on vacation have questionable Wi-Fi in our holiday village. We have always had a BeoSound 3 with FM, but it sucks now. No. Now, why can BNO launch a portable radio FM DAB? Those times have passed, brother. Oh my God, at least 15 years ago. There is never going to be any of that. What I would suggest, if your Wi-Fi sucks where you're at and you have Tidal or Deezer or Spotify, download your content directly into your phone and then either use a Bluetooth, connect to a level which is preset before you do that. Well, I guess if it's the dumb one, not the googly one, then you're fine. But I had done this before, and quite honestly, I've taken my BeoSound 1 on vacation with me into Dominican, and they fucking pulled me over, right? Obviously, because why wouldn't I get flagged? Because this thing kind of looks like a fucking missile in a backpack or in a carry-on. So they thought I'm like carrying an RPG warhead or whatever, and I had to fucking hotspot off of my phone, which I keep the same hotspot network SSID and password as it is in my house, right? So then shit just automatically connected, and I tapped on the BeoSound 1 and it started playing, and they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, it's a radio basically. So that's I guess that's the story of that it does work even through the hotspot. But if you have questionable Wi-Fi coverage or network coverage, and first of all, if you own that village cabin, whatever that place is, I would first address the cell phone boost. I would get something that you can get your cell phone boosted, or get a what is it, that Skylink or Skynet internet from Elon there. Starlink.
Starlink, yeah.
And go from there. But the AM FM DAB, man, those are the words that will never be said again with BNO in BNO terms. It's all digital now, my friend. They're never gonna go backwards. Like, if you want a good FM radio with a CD player, I guess you can look into the 2000 edition of a BeoSound 1, which is the CD player. But that is so there you go. You have the BeoSound 1. So, but if you have a BeoSound 1 with the battery like I have, like the new generation of it, right, or the Cone BeoSound 1, you are able to do that like I'm doing it with the hotspot. And quite honestly, if you make a hotspot, then you can run the BNO app, and you can play Tidal from your phone because it's going through the hotspot of the what's it called, of the phone itself.
Yeah.
But the least amount of brain damage, honestly, in a cabin cottage, fuck, put a Bluetooth, pair it to Bluetooth, and then that's that.
I mean, this is another thing, right? Like, the US doesn't really do DAB radio.
No, they wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know how to spell it, bro. Yeah, there's no DAB here.
Like, this is one of these things where, like, AM FM used to be universal, but it's no longer.
No.
And it's kind of the weirdest thing to me is AM is still a thing in this country, like, massively.
Oh, hell yeah. All the like politician news and whatever, like those like debates and shit, that's all AM radio. And also, I think it's big because of hockey. Hockey is on AM radio, right?
Yeah.
Every game. So people still listen to it, but it's not really I guess it's not that it's not a thing, but at the end of the day, all those AM radios, you can find them on TuneIn in a much better quality than what the AM can ever provide. And yes, I am using a BNO opener to open it always. Actually, the story behind this guy specifically, I have stolen this from the lunchroom in Factory 5, I think it was, where we were on my first BNO tour. So just to keep going with the tradition of the bottle opener.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did I miss? I feel like I got unplugged from the Matrix. What are your thoughts on BeoTalk? They're great. They're great. They sound. I find that they sound spectacular in about the height like Mikey has them, and or a little higher. Depends on what your room scenario is, or you put them directly as on. But they sound great against the wall. It just really, really helps them. Even though they obviously they run themselves a tune, but now they have those 3 more dBs of bass play before the ABL has to take over because the wall helps.
Yeah, when we were having dinner, they were still in my living room, and I played them. And at one point, you said, "I can't tell if that's the 50s or the 8s." It wasn't at loud volumes, but it was at like sort of dinner having volumes. So I'm not saying like they're comparable to 50s, but for just ambient noise, you can't necessarily tell the difference.
No. Because when you have them, like that's what's funny, that if you have it played, if everything's played around 45 to 30 volume, right, in B&O numbers, it's really hard to tell for you what it is.
So I have them in anthracite with the silver aluminium cover from Tigrino Studios. If you want that, here's a link on discount. Mine were always gonna be that. I kind of have no need for them. So
oh, this sucker for B&O is real with us, guy.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. I mean, I like them enough that I actually bought them when I had no need for them. So I guess that kind of is the review.
To me, my first impression when I've heard them, it really took me back when I first ever heard BeoLab 3s on the wall brackets playing in a B&O store. Like when those kicked in at 55 whatever volume, it was man, it was juicing. Like I was shocked that bass is coming out of these little enclosures, and it was exactly the same deja vu, I guess, with the BeoLab 8s when we first time turned them on, because it doesn't make fucking sense how these pump like that.
What stunned me the most about these, especially once I had them home, right, is at one point they were on the bar of my kitchen island facing towards the dining room table, and they were playing normally, and I walked into the kitchen to get something. I was like, I'm actually not sure if I wasn't looking that I was looking at the back of them. Like they, especially in wide mode, they change so little off axis. It's kind of crazy.
Yes. Yeah, they almost become omnidirectional in a way. I don't know how they digitally achieved that, but it is very, very impressive.
Some dark magic going on, but it definitely works. It's very impressive. Still, yeah, like so I have a pair. Like I don't know what to do with them, so that's why they ended up here, because I guess if a set of 17 goes in the living room at some point, I guess I put them in the living room by then.
That's funny.
So I don't think anybody really will. Anybody that buys 8, I don't think anybody will ever be dissatisfied with them, other than if something breaks. But it's not like within normal function. I think everybody will be very pleased with them.
But they're also very easy to service. They're modular. The Mozart platform is in it, and I like where the B&O is headed with the repairability of the products. Not that they've always been there. But given the fucking complexity of all these boards and stacking all this nonsense on top of one another and dealing with the heat and this and that, and it is very serviceable, but it's also headachy. Like to take apart balance, bro. Oh my god, it's just so much of everything. But then again, there's videos, right? So you need to follow the video because you will lose yourself in what sticker and placeholder for cables you need to undo and before you and rip it off the boards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's level is not bad. I've had mine apart a couple times out of curiosity. And I also did the Frankenstein heart transplant once, so I swapped to Mozart chips, but apparently it's something on the firmware or hardware where that fucking Google is locked in. So it didn't. I didn't free my level from the grasps of Google Voice Assistant yet. And same with Emerge. I tried that with the Mozart chip on the Emerge, and she just kept blinking red. I'm like, let's just put this back.
I mean, talk about easily repairable, right? Like it comes apart fairly easily. Like
You could change colors over the life of the speaker much easier than
yeah.
any other B&O speaker, really, that there is in existence.
I
By
mean,
replacing two pieces.
Even getting to the board and whatnot is fairly easy because there's like screw holes and level versus BeoSound 1 in sound quality. Personally, I would say BeoSound 1, but it's because I love the acoustic lens of it.
Level all day long. Not just, I understand your argument with that, but Emerge sounds cleaner than BeoSound 1. Obviously, on the bass side, this is a different topic completely. But BeoSound 1 to me now sounds like Pentas versus the Lab 1s. That's how far I guess that comparison would go. Not on every song, not on every tune, but I found that personally that the BeoSound 1 sounds the best with spoken word radio because they really nailed the voice down. But anything that is also the problem is with the app because you don't have the Biosonic in it, right? So you can't really tweak other than the regular cheeseball bass and treble sliders that you can go up 6 and down 6 dBs or a little more. But
I like that more personally.
But there you can't really do, you can't make your special sauce with it, where you can do that with the emergent level. Also, the problem I find with the BeoSound 1, it's for its time, it doesn't do the room comp, right? So it doesn't know where, and you can put it level. Like I have it as freestanding because it's basically freestanding, but I don't find it acoustically close to level. Like if you're thinking of level versus a used BeoSound 1, depends on what. Like then again, if you put a New York edition BeoSound 1 in front of me and a level to make a decision, I'm fucking going home with the New York edition BeoSound 1. Because it's just beautiful. Like that's the only thing that it's got going for itself. If you then put like a piano black finished level with the walnut grill on it, maybe I would have walked home with the level. That would be a hard toss. But my personal opinion, like I've spent a lot of time at my BeoSound 1 having cigars in the balcony back in Calgary, and like it was the only speaker that made it with me to Dominican Republic. It's like, fuck it, man, I'm not gonna, like, I brought the burger, but that's for the golf cart, right? But sand. So, but in the house or in the hotel, it was a nice place. I brought the BeoSound 1, and also you could carry it around because there was a Wi-Fi network, obviously coverage in the whole resort, and you could bring it outside when we're smoking cigars, and it played well. Don't get me wrong, but it is not the same clarity in that the level can produce. That's it. But you're also talking few years in difference of evolution, right? Where level is still, well, can't say the BeoSound 1 is not getting support of the old ASC platform because you can still do the title on it now and so on and so forth. So it's still relevant, but sonically it's not as much as the BeoSound level or the Emerge per se. I'm sure I'm going to roast it in the comments for this, that I agree, but Emerge sounded great when we just hated on it for the first time when it came out.
I still don't like it. It sounds fine, but the thing is, right, up until this is a Mozart thing in general, right? Speakers fall on their ass way quicker than they did in previous gens, which
Hmm.
is sort of fine because even 8s and 28s will do that, but it's fucking loud at that point.
Yes.
The Emerge does it at a reasonable listening volume. Whereas like an M3 doesn't sound as good, but it is way further in the output.
Hmm.
Also, it's just too expensive for what it is. When it was launched, it was expensive, but now, like, holy shit!
Yeah, it's a little steep.
I mean, when it
Also,
launched, it was
JG.
750 or something. Now it's like what 1250, 1500. Like, my god!
Also, JG. I guess if it's for, let's say, the cottage or whatnot, if you're talking utility and something that is not statically in a house and it's going to be moved around, get the basket, get the A5 instead of the level. 100%. Because you're going to get your level all fucked up by somebody not even meaning to. And especially when it's upright and somebody just dings the table, it falls over on its ass, man. So you're going to get the chassis frame dented, 100% guaranteed. It doesn't stand upright in the sand, even like on the beach. You'd have to, like, obviously put a blanket or whatever, and then you put the thing up. It's going to fall on its ass. So it's always going to have to be laying down, which then creates a way more of a footprint on the little real estate that you have. Plus, you're going to be tripping to not to get sand in the shit. For that, I would opt in to go with the A5. And then also you have somewhere to put your phone on top of, and it also charges it at the same time.
Also, the A5 isn't so finicky with like hotspots and that sort of thing. It just
Yes.
Bluetooth if you wanted to.
And but that's, that's a catch-22. Depends on where you're vacationing. Like if you're going to be doing a lot of outdoorsy stuff and picnics and barbecues and patios and all that shit, dude, A5 is a absolute no-brainer. But if you're looking for a level to just have somewhere, like sitting in a hotel on an office desk, that's a different story.
Yeah.
That fits into a backpack. Like I have the Oakley Icon 2.0, whatever, 3.0, whatever the fuck it is nowadays, but it has a laptop sleeve that accommodates a 17-inch MacBook, I guess what it used to be back in the day, right? You can slip a level into that pouch without any problems, because it's as thick as a packaged stack of printer paper. And it's basically the same size, like A5 or 8.5 by 11 type of thing that we have here in North America. But that's, I love my level in the bathroom because it sits on a very thin, low profile shelf. It supplies more than enough sound and bass and quality where I listen to it. And it's louder than the shower. So that's good. But for traveling around, I would opt into, well, for me, I guess I've shrunk it down to the point where I just bring the little Explorer because it's easier for travel and it basically fits into a pocket of a backpack like a Coke can. But if I were to go more committed with it, let's say I have a patio outside and whatnot, fuck the outdoor speakers, man. I would get maybe a pair, maybe just one A5 if I were to go crazy. I guess if you have barbecues or something. Once I'm in Florida, Mike, you can bring his A5 and we can just, stereo pair them.
I will, because another thing with this one is I'm not worried about the battery life.
Mm-hmm.
Like we sometimes, we often on the weekend take it out, and sometimes we forget it outside and not plug it in overnight, right? And it does the next day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it's not like blasting full volume, but it's not quiet either. Like I'm pretty sure the neighbors could hear it.
No, it carries sound pretty well, but yeah, you can't really go anything over 30 to 40, and then you're basically unable to talk to other person because the music is too disruptive and loud now.
But also, I like the form factor. It doesn't tip over.
No, it's solid as rock, and that's the thing, right? So
it also has way more bass on the level.
Yes, it does. Well, it's a larger driver, right? Like
Yeah.
these are very, very, very low profile drivers in the level, but obviously that's to the sacrifice of the thickness of it. Where
I mean,
here you got a nice big woofer.
if I had to rebuy it, I would either go this oak, the Century Weave, which I really like a lot as well,
Hmm.
or what I actually have is this version, the spaced aluminium.
Spaced aluminium is nice.
Though it is kind of, I don't know, a bit bland almost. Like I almost wish that the rest of the chassis was like black or something, like this, and then spaced aluminium on it.
Hmm.
But yeah, for me, this works fine.
You could make your own bespoke, bro. Just buy another one and change the buy the black one and swap the grills.
God. No, if I'm buying anything, it's going to be probably an A9.
Yeah, you've decided that's gonna go outside.
I haven't decided.
I think we've decided that. We've already decided, bro. Come on.
Look, it's so unnecessary, right? Like this is.
No, I know, but we've decided.
Yeah, now I need to, I guess, decide then if it's an if or a when.
More it's a when than if, because we've already decided.
I mean, if anything, right? If they come out with a new remote, I'd rather buy a few of those.
Oh, I'm with you on that. But I think that the Beo Remote one will not go away in my entire setup due to the. I don't think that the next remote will have IR capability.
Max says, would be nice if the next A9 generation had some more outdoor proofiness. As long as it's not in the rain, right? It's pretty proofiness.
It's pretty proofy, man. The only thing that's not proofy in it is the baseboard. Like the shit will get in it, no matter what. And it only takes one little lizard, just like Eric posted on the Avant. Remember that? That the lizard came across the power supply, fucking.
Yeah, and bridged the hot and the cold.
Yeah, that was the last day for the lizard. But I honestly think that if anything, the next speaker technology or next speaker should somehow incorporate their active woofer or baseboard technology. That kind of just it was born with the Edge, patented because of that product, but then we just abandoned it as B&O. And I don't understand where the problem was. Was it the fact that there was leaking oil? Maybe that was a lack of design properly. Maybe they just used a not substandard, but a wrong choice of greasing.
I mean, but you can do that with better seals and or bearings, right?
Oh, of course.
Like cars have moving parts that don't fucking leak.
And it's a way higher pressure. So
yeah. So there's ways to fix that. I mean, it does literally solve like huge driver, small cabinet issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why they haven't come up with anything that uses that. Because the Edge had a 10-inch driver.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking huge for something that's like that thick.
No, that thing kicked pretty good.
Yeah.
That thing kicked pretty good. They should reinvent that as a Mozart platform subwoofer. Because you already got the rocking for the volume, so you can turn up your eights connected to it back and forth, right?
Yeah, it could even be smaller. It could be like 14 inches, right? With just a 10-inch driver in it.
I think they should, if they're going to do it, I think they should do it in a way that they still harvest the acoustic balance principle. So it doesn't rattle the piss out of the wall if you, let's say, wall mounted, right?
Yeah.
Just like the balance, the BeoLab 11. What else has the 19? And I think that's all there is for the acoustic balance principle.
Yeah. Um, though I didn't think the Edge was really all that rattly from memory. I mean,
The only
partly
thing that
why they
really
struggled
rattled
with
was
is
the fabric.
that
Yeah,
port opened, right? Like, and all the pressure goes away.
but it also rattled because the fabric was flapping, just like
Yeah.
on the 8000s when the fabric covers are too loose, and then you can just hear it, and it's basically it's smacking the fabric against the baseboard, and that sucks because you think you have blown speakers, but it's just a speaker cloth.
It's the Edge is such a strange product. It was such a strange project altogether.
Yes. I
Like,
never liked it, honestly. I never liked. Not that I never liked it. I never liked the idea of it, how it was, how it was, not just communicated, but I think that they missed the point on the utility of a speaker like that,
yeah,
because it does make sense in some scenarios, but it's mostly. I think the best installations that they ever were for the Edge were in the gyms or in the commercial settings where you could put a logo on it and it just works.
I guess if Edges are still hated now, I could get one of those instead of an A9 for outside.
I would still go with the A9, man. Like the amount of dust that you'd have to polish off of that circle all the time.
Yeah, but I'll hang it high. I won't see it. I can still press it for volume.
Oh no, you just rock it up and down.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? And then the dust falls off, and the dust falls off, and the dust falls off.
I don't know if you can even get an Edge. I think those are the most hardest ones to find.
Yeah, because dealers are
There
still
weren't
stuck
many of
with them. Nobody bought them. I mean, it was gimmicky as shit. Yeah, like the whole rocking the whole speaker for volume was a bit strange.
Mm.
So
You have the Gen 5 Mozart platform, and I feel it's the speaker with the least advanced and modern sound. Are we still talking about the A9?
yeah,
I don't know. I found the A9 sounds the best on the Mozart comparatively to all the rest of them.
yeah, but it's
the
way
predecessors.
smoother and not so bass forward as compared to like a Balance or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the A9 has always been quite smooth in terms of bass, right? It's never been overwhelming, but that was the whole point. So
A9 was a life of a party on numerous occasions in my life, man.
Yeah.
Tell you that. But,
it can go loud, but coming back to like the Emerge, right, versus like the A9, the A9's limit when it falls on its ass, even with Mozart, is so much higher. Like in terms of its own max capability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like with an Emerge, you're at like 50% of its volume and go 2 ticks higher, and it's like, okay, we're done here. Like you only get more treble. But
And
with an
mid-range,
A9, you're at like 78-ish volume before like you only get more treble.
Yeah. A9 is good. I'm glad we decided that you're going to put one on the wall. And on that note, we'll call it a day.
Have a good week, everybody. See you all next week. And
thank you very much for the coffees.
like and subscribe and give Willie a coffee. Bye.
Bye.